Hey guys, it's RC back with our next edition of Let's Play Out of the Park 18. This is our career Let's Play where we are currently managing the Kansas City Royals, coming off the World Series surprise win last season. If you have not watched Season 2, I certainly recommend checking that out. The ending of the season was insane. We are 20 and 12. We are tied for the lead here. And let's see. I have not recorded probably in 2 weeks. Just having enough videos already done. So let's just play a little bit of catch up here at the beginning. So we are first in attendance. I am in the middle of a 3-year contract. I have 2 years left at $39,000 a year. Our current goals are to reach the playoffs, improve your team's home run totals, increase team attendance from 22.5 to 30,800 per game. Right now we're at 29, so we're on the cusp of that, but who knows. And bring home a championship in the next 4 seasons. So initially the goal was to do it by this current season. We were a year early, and so now he wants another title within the next 4 years. All right, well, let's get into some nuts and bolts here. So George Brett's leading the team in average at 393. Dan Dreesen has 8 home runs and 25 RBIs. If you are just tuning in or forgot, you're going, Dan Dreesen, I thought he played for the Cincinnati Reds. Well, he did, and we actually got him in a trade for Nelson Briles, Bob Stinson, and Craig Perkins. Not sure why they wanted 2 catchers, but Perkins is the guy they wanted to put it over the top. Briles was an aging 33-year-old, so we went ahead and felt we could move him. He went 7 and 13 last year, coming off a 15 and 8 season. So I had him on the way out. We had drafted Jack Morris, and Jack was kind of Briles' replacement. Stinson was actually our daily catcher, he was trying to be, but he just wasn't good enough. So we felt he was, dealable, and I think we were able to get a pretty good first baseman here. Plus, he's young; he's only 25. We had LACY playing over at first base. We had guys moved around. Lee May, I'm sorry, but Lee LACY, I think, had moved over there. Nope, it was not him. It was May. But anyway, here is our around the horn look. We've picked up Rick Dempsey. He came over from the Yankees organization. Of course, made his name as a Baltimore Oriole in real life. Dreesen, the Cincinnati Red, playing first base. Lee LACY we picked up a couple of years ago, and I think he was a really big signing, especially last year. I mean, he hit 321 for the season. Only played 64 games. He was injured much of the year. And early in the year is when he got hurt, which forced us to go out and trade for Rick Burleson, who was our second baseman and had a great year for us. Only 29 RBIs, but hit 296, 349 on base percentage. Really anchored things over there. With LACY coming back, we felt Freddie Patek was expendable, so we did trade him, which slides Burleson over to short. And George Brett, horrible year last year, only 4 home runs. He did hit 337, but just no power last year. He already has 6 homers in 31 games this year, so certainly expecting a rebound in power. Hal McRae, back up in the outfield. Sheldon Mallory is starting currently, and that is because, well, Amos Otis was injured. He had something that was hanging over him. So let's update that. There we go. All right, so the only change, McRae and right, Otis now starts, but the reason he was not starting, he was dinged up and it was lingering a little bit, so we just put him on the shelf to where he wouldn't play at all. John Milner, he only hit 262 last year with 7 homers after we got him from Pittsburgh, where he was hitting a .132, but down the stretch, didn't it seem like he was getting a key hit like every game? With a big home run, driving in winning RBIs. It was insane. And then Sheldon Mallory, 23 years old. He is our outfield replacement. And Gates is a utility player as well, pretty much around the horn. We do have Hank Aaron still under contract. He's not doing too bad this year in a pinch hit role, hitting 600 with one. Oh, he got a home run. Holy cow, I must have missed that. He got a home run this year, yes. So a 500 average, 5 hits in 10 at bats with a home run, and that gives him 735 career home runs. First homer since 1975 with Milwaukee. And boy, last year was just injury plagued. I remember how excited I was when I traded for him. Just was not meant to be, but definitely doesn't have the legs. I wish we had a DH spot, but we do not. And if we look over at the pitching staff, Dennis Leonard went 18-6 last year, finished second in the Cy Young voting. Ron Guidry we had traded for in '76 from the Yankees, and he has been solid for us. 12-4 last year in 23 starts. Doug Bird, he's kind of our journeyman there. Paul Splittorff, 13-10 last year, but again, pretty solid, 2.74 ERA, and he's off to a 5-1 start this year. Bruce Sutter has assumed the closer's duties from Al Hrabowski this year, and he already has 9 saves. Jack Morris is over in the bullpen, as I am currently going with a 4-man roster. Morris actually was in the rotation, lost a couple of games, and he is sporting a 8.75 ERA. If he struggles a little bit more, I may send him down just to get some more seasoning in the minors. I don't know at this point. I mean, he is only 21, so technically he could develop a little bit more, but I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if, I don't know with version 18 if he can develop more at the lower level, or all right, well, he's happy there. But you can see he's got some upside still. We just don't know, how long it's going to take him to reach that potential. But granted, he's on the cusp of 22. So we are playing well. Let's take a look at our financials. We're projected to make almost $7.4 million this year, which would give us about a $2.8 million profit. We have been drawing fairly well with a slight downturn here recently as we enter the summer months, the dog days. And let's see, salaries. So we only have 2 upcoming free agents. Gary Lance. Thank you, Staples. Appreciate that. Starting pitcher, he's 28. Oh, my video's ready to go up. Says he's ready to be a starter, but I just don't have room for him and don't think he's the upside guy that I'm looking for. Same thing with Paul Pells. I'm gonna set both of these guys to available. Just see if it draws any interest. And salaries. Fran Healy, he's our backup catcher. he's not bad. He was our starter in 75. Just not worth 242,000. Wonder what he is asking. Let's find out. Offer an extension. Yeah, 300. Yeah, you're not going to get that from me, buddy. We're just going to let him walk, I think. Paul Splittorff, I think we'll have to try to re-sign him. Steve Staggs. Staggs is 26. And right now he is our primary backup. He's only hitting 176. But he has hit 279. He's a decent enough fielder. I like his ratings. First, second, and short. So, you know, we could play him a few more positions. He's making 131,000. You know what? I'm going to sign him to a 2-year deal. I'm going to see if I can get him down a little bit and ask for a response. Quite far apart, really? How about that? Alright, well, so looks like he may take that offer. Front office salaries. Lee May is 34. Mingori. Bruce Sutter we need to re-sign. He's currently making 53,000. I want to offer you a 5-year deal, and I really don't want to pay you that much. Alright, well, I mean, that triples his salary. I think Aaron we're going to let go. Dempsey's making 26.7. Out of option years. Alright, well, you know what? I'm going to sign you 3 years at that 55,000 if you'll sign it. Alright, golly. Alright, that's going to be it. I try only to do a couple of contracts at a time. We'll see. Alright, let's go back up to the standings page. I like this page because you guys can kind of keep track of any changes in the leaderboards. We are May 9th. Let's go ahead and do out a week. Personal message. We'll finish out the week before we look at emails. Alright. Doyle Alexander with a shutout of the Rangers for the Orioles. J.R. Richards, White Sox, throws a shutout. Bill Madlock 5 for 5 for the Cubbies as they played the Padres. Jose Cruz of the Cubs got 5 hits. Rick Dempsey, Steve Staggs, and Bruce Sutter all signed their contracts. Staggs signs for 2 years. Star relief pitcher Bruce Sutter. Nothing really related to the fans, so the fans didn't really get off on that, but that's okay. Guidry blanked California. 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, a 3-hitter. Hank Aaron nominating himself as the judge, jury, and executioner for a kangaroo court. Nice. Chris Ward on the DL, 4 to 5 months. Fractured ankle. Ouch. Splittorf blanks the Angels. Reggie Smith, Player of the Week for Detroit. Jose Cruz, Player of the Week for the National League. Single season records. ERA. There's Dutch Leonard, the one that we figured out finally that was actually named Dutch or nicknamed Dutch. 1914, Mordecai Brown, Bob Gibson, Christy Mathewson, Walter Johnson. That would be a pretty good five-man rotation, wouldn't you think? We are down to number 2. Phillies with the big jump this week. Let's go ahead and jump into our schedule. All right, so we had a 2-1 loss to the Yankees. Necro and Lyle combined for a one-hitter. Hard to overcome that. Bird pitched well, 7 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs. Littell, 1 inning of scoreless relief, but just can't overcome a one-hitter, guys. Home run by Davey Lopes, his first of the season. McRae, his 3rd stolen base. He was the only one to get a hit. That's difficult to overcome. Then we get a 4-2 win. That was the game. Splittorf, 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. Sutter, a scoreless 9th for his 10th save. No homers for our side or theirs. Looks like Burleson, McRae both had 2-hit games. And then a 4-3 loss. Wow, so the Yankees took 2 out of 3. Leonard took no decision, 9 hits, 3 runs. Littell in relief took the loss. Erickson, 7 hits, 3 runs for the win. Lou Piniella got hurt on a defensive play. He had his 2nd homer of the season. No homers for our guys. Burleson, another 2-hit game for him. Then we went in and we swept the Angels 3 straight, and we shut them out all 3 games. That's impressive. So Guidry, a 3-hitter for the shutout. Excellent game for him. Bird and Littell combined for a 9-inning shutout, giving up 8 hits. And Otis got his 2nd homer. Dreesen with 2 homers in the game gets him to 10 on the season. Brett went 3 for 4. And a 5-0 win. Splittorf, 6-hit shutout. No homers in this one. Milner, 2 for 4. And LACY, 2 for 4. Those guys are struggling a little bit, but hey, they're not going to hit, lights out every season. All right, well, coming up, we have Oakland and another series with California. So that'll, hopefully we can continue to push there. The win, we go 8-2 in our last 10, and we build a half-game lead over the White Sox. Angels are now 10 back. So that gives us a shot to extend our lead here. Brett continues to lead the way over Bostock with a 367 average. 20-game hit streak for George. 7 wins for Splittorf, leads the league. Guidry leads the American League in strikeouts and WAR. Very good. All right, I like to look at my money every once in a while. So we're still 2.7 million, I think, and we had a little bit of a rebound, so we're still at 29,000 even. That 30,000 I think is going to be hard to reach. Hard to reach. All right, well, let's play. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted the standings. There we go. So let's knock out another week. All right, Dan Dreesen, a strained back day to day. And we're going to go ahead and just ride that out. All right, let's check some emails first of all. All right, Ernie McNally. Sorry about that. Ernie McAnally with the shutout. Dave Winfield, 25 years old. Cracks 5 hits. Hitting .331 this season at that point. Guidry with a shutout. Very good. Flanagan of the Twins shuts out the Rangers. Consecutive game hit streak for Jose Cruz. He's up to 20. Uh-oh, the Kangaroo Court gets its first victim. Bruce Sutter fined $100 by Hank Aaron for stepping on the team logo in the middle of the clubhouse floor. All right, that's actually kind of funny, and I don't think you would see stuff like that if you were losing. So that's interesting. Bostock injury update. Now he is his kneecap is now broken, and 4 to 5 months. So his season's over. Jim Umbargner, 4-hit shutout. Wilbur Wood, 8-1 at 35 years old. Mike Hart, not the Michigan running back Mike Hart, but Mike Hart from the Expos with a 5-hitter. AL Player of the Week, Butch Hobson of the White Sox. NL Player of the Week, Dave Snake Parker from the Pirates. All-Star voting is beginning. Batting leaders at third base. At bat count, George Brett, Steve Ontiveros, Eric Soderhelm, one of our nemesis, seems to hit a home run every game against us, Larry Parrish, and Pete Rose. Power rankings, the White Sox jump up. Kansas City's down another notch. Philly's down a good bit. So the Expos now number 2. White Sox number 1. Let's take a look at our schedule. All right, so we went 2-1 against Oakland, and then we split a 4-game set with California. That's disappointing. Let's see, our first game, 7-4 victory. Dennis Leonard gets his 7th win to go to 7-1 on the season. 6 hits, 4 runs. Don Ossie came in relief. Reggie Jackson, 31 years old now, got his 12th homer of the season. Amos Otis stole a base. McRae, Dreesen, and Brett all stole bases safely. Dreesen, McRae, and Otis all with 2-hit games, 3 RBIs for Otis. Good outing. 4-0 shutout. Guidry goes to 6-1 with a 2.08 ERA. Man, is this going to be his 1978 season? Man, that would be incredible. Otis hit his 3rd homer of the season. Burleson got his 1st of the season. And Brett hit another homer, giving him 7 on the season. Very good. Very glad to see that. I'm going to have to move Dreesen down in the order. I mean, 10 home runs? Come on. Do I put Burleson up there? I think I'm going to have to look and see who has some stolen bases. I don't know. All right, then we lost. All right, so Bird with the no decision. Sutter actually took the loss. I wonder if this is the game that they gave him the fine. If he would have gotten the save, they probably wouldn't have fined him, right? So that's a rough outing. Then we get an 8-4 win over California. Splittorff goes to 8-1. Hrabowski with an inning of scoreless relief. Dempsey his 2nd homer of the season. Burleson his 2nd homer of the season. So a couple of homers in that game. 5-4 loss. That's Leonard's 2nd loss, getting roughed up a little bit. 5 runs, 11 hits in 6 innings. Knocked him around a little bit. Otis his 4th homer in that game. Oh, that's the one I just looked at. And then we had a 7-5 loss. Guidry took the no decision, only 2 runs. Oh, that's a rough one. Sutter roughed up again. 5 runs on 2 hits in 1 inning. 3 walks. Wow. So I guarantee a 3-on, 1-out grand slam for Butch Alberts. Butch Alberts, 1 with 1 in the top of the 9th. A 1-2 fastball for a grand slam home run. Ow! Ow! Otis, his 5th homer of the season. That's a rough way to lose. We come back. Bird picks up the win. 3 hits, no runs, combines with Hrabowski, who got his first save of the season. Brett with a stolen base. McRae caught stealing for the 3rd time this year. And that drops us into 2nd place as the White Sox are streaking 8-10, 8-2 in the last 10. You know, it's real close. You know, we're right in there. We're tops in the wild card race with a 3.5 game lead over the Yankees. So right now, really nothing to worry about getting back to the playoffs, although it's way early, way early. Splittorff up to 8 wins, as is Wilbur Wood. Rick Langford of Montreal leads the National League with 6 wins. Brett continues to pace the way at 371. Bill Madlock, though, 421. Although he is on the shelf, he's out for 4 weeks, so he's only played in 35 games compared to Brett's 44. So it may end up being an issue for having enough at bats to qualify for Bill. Mike Schmidt, 16 homers. Butch Hobson with 17. 51 RBIs for Hobson, 47 for George Foster. Cesar Cedeno with 24 stolen bases. Bake McBride with 15 over on the American League side. All right, guys, well, we'll put a cut in right here. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Come back in the next one, see how Kansas City continues to do this year, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much. Take care.